How do creative leaders prevent scope creep without losing compensation? Imagine pouring your heart into a project only to find it expanding beyond what was originally agreed upon, risking your time and profit. That's scope creep, and it can sneak up on even the most experienced creative leaders. So, how do you keep your projects on track and your pay intact? Let's explore some proven strategies. First, it all starts with a clear and detailed project scope before any work begins. This means writing down exactly what you will deliver, including specific details like the number of branding concepts, storytelling formats, or client presentation sizes. For example, if you're designing a brand identity, specify that the package includes a logo, color palette, and brand guidelines, but not website design. This document acts as your roadmap and reference point to prevent misunderstandings. Next, set up a formal process for handling changes. When a client requests a new feature or a different direction, ask them to submit a written change request. Review how this change impacts your timeline and costs. If it adds extra work, explain that additional compensation will be necessary. For instance, if a client wants to add a new storytelling video after the initial agreement, clarify that this will requiring a new budget and timeline. Always get their approval in writing before proceeding. Communicating early and often with clients is vital. During project meetings, discuss potential changes and their effects on the budget and schedule. If a client suggests a new idea, gently remind them of the original scope and explain how the change impacts the project. This transparency builds trust and makes clients more receptive to formal change processes. Including contingency buffers in your contract can also help. For example, you might allocate a certain percentage of your budget for minor revisions or adjustments. If the client exceeds that, you can negotiate additional fees. For example, if you include 2 rounds of revisions in your contract, any extra rounds should be billed separately. Knowing when to say no is equally important. If a request clearly falls outside the original scope, politely explain that it's beyond the current agreement. Offer to discuss a new contract or a separate project to accommodate their new needs. This keeps your work focused and your compensation protected. From a leadership standpoint, balancing creativity with discipline is key. Encourage your team to stay aligned with the project goals and scope, avoiding unnecessary work that doesn't add value. Use project management tools to track scope changes, deadlines, and costs transparently, so everyone stays on the same page. In the end, mastering these practices means drafting contracts with clear scope definitions, documenting every change, communicating openly with clients, and managing your team with focus. When you do this, you protect your work and your income, all while maintaining strong client relationships. It's about being professional, clear, and firm, so you can keep your projects running smoothly and your compensation fair.